Now, just recently, Dana said you were blowing up his phone when Holloway, actually, Max Holloway, the champ, something happened with him and he couldn't fight T Money. T Money, T City, I'm
T-City,
sorry.
yeah.
Brian Ortega. And you were jumping at that chance to take that fight. And that's funny because that's a totally, well, yes, that's a way different style than Jose Aldo. You were just in shape and you figured that'd be like just get to the head of the line type of thing. What was that? What with that, Jeremy?
No, I mean, if you look at it, Jose's lost the championship twice. Who's the next guy who's on the win streak?
Yeah.
That's me. The UFC told me to stay ready, that, if anything was to happen to these guys, that I was the next in line and that I was deserving. They actually told me that. That was cool. I actually stayed. I had a matchup. I was fighting just 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And, so I'm within ballpark, coming into that week, I thought they were going to go and fight, and I was actually interested in watching that fight. And things happened. They actually called me up. It wasn't like I was just, blowing up Dana. After they had told me no, I'm reaching out to Dana like, this kid's ducking me, dude. Like you need to give me this kid. I'll go to L.A., which is next week, and I'll fight him there at his mom's house. Let's go. Let's make this happen. And nothing ever came of it. I figured they're just trying to figure out what's up with Max. And my goal right now is Jose.
Yeah.
And if I go in there and I have that dominant performance, like I know I can, then I'm truly undeniable. And I beat the guy who beat Frankie, then Ortega. We could possibly pass him up if Max heals up and fight. There's plenty of matchups out there. That this is what we sign contracts for, Matt. They don't make them like us anymore, bro. It's like, what do we sign contracts for? It's to fight. So I don't know what this kid's bitching, complaining about. It's like, dude, that was your best chance to beat me when I had to dehydrate myself, and my coach was in a hospital. He wasn't doing good. He had a bad sinus infection. He wasn't even going to be able to make it. So there's a lot of things going on, and that was his best chance. And you know what? He sat on the sidelines. It just shows the type of character that he is. He can say whatever he wants, but to me, that's bitch made stuff.
Well, that's
Shots fired.
sorry,
Shots fired.
you threw that in at the end. It got me by surprise. I can see both points of view on that. Like, I hear you, man. I signed a contract, and whatever it is, I'm there to fight. And then I looked at it. You look at it through Ortega's eyes, and I think he more than once he stepped in to save the show. So I don't. You almost like, I don't want to be like that guy. Like, you did it once here, then you did it for Frankie. And then it's like, with the company, you don't want to be like, hey, man, like, don't treat me like, what is that, Janet Jackson song? Like, what have you done for me lately? Is that a Janet Jackson song?
Yeah,
Holy shit, I showed my age and how bad I am with fucking music. But, you know what I mean? So I see both sides of that, But it does set up, you take care of business. I can't wait for this fight with him and Aldo this Saturday. I really can't. Dude, if I was psyched before after talking to you, I'm fucking super psyched now. This Saturday in Calgary, right?
Yeah,
Canada.
Yeah.
Yes,
What are you flying? Are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here. I've
man.
been here since Monday.
You settling in? What do you like to do during the week, Jeremy? Do you like to how do you like keep your foot off the gas and mentally, and how do you try to stay chill during the week? Or are you just like a race car in the fucking red?
You know what? I do what I came here to do. I cut weight. I handle all my media obligations, and I have fun. I treat it just like I'm hanging out. I listen to music. I'm watching movies. I'm enjoying myself. Because this is the present moment. The past doesn't matter. The future doesn't matter. I'm really just embracing the moment. Like, a kid being here in the UFC for the first time, looking around Calgary, for the first time. So I really just embrace it, embrace the fans, and embrace all the media obligations that I got to do. Sitting here talking to you guys, it feels like I'm clowning around at home. So it's fun to me, man. Because I only have a few more years left in this sport, and then I'm going to be looking back like, man, I wish I was just cutting weight right now. So I take it for what it is, and I just enjoy the moment.
I love what you just said there, man. Because some guys are just so caught up in everything, and then when everything is gone, like it took me in my 30s to really start enjoying walking out to that cage. Believe it or not, it really did. I think my GSP fight, I was smiling the most. It's like you enjoy because you know it's not going to be around you're not going to be doing this how many years from now. But listen, I'm glad you're embracing the moment, and I cannot wait for you in this co-main event this weekend. It's the Fox main card this weekend from Calgary. What time does that start, Chris, the producer?
8 p.m. Eastern on Big Fox.
Man, hey, listen, all our best, Jeremy, man. We love watching you, dude.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one.
Awesome, dude. Catch up with you soon, dude. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the fight.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
All right, man. The great Jeremy Stephens. Man, the more I talk to this guy, the more I like him.
Man, I feel great. Like you said, it's going to be another legend, former champion mounted on my wall. I'm building a trophy system of legends and former champs. So this fight's no different.
Styles make fights, and this is. I mean, people say it all the time. Like, I can't see this going 5 rounds. This is a co-main. I'm sorry, 3 rounds. This is gonna be. I just look at this as like a. Oh man, there's good fights on here too. By the way, I'm looking at the whole card right now, but this is potential as freaking fight of the night for sure. Jamie English, what do you think?
Yeah, very much excited because like these gentlemen don't come around too often. Like they've both been in the UFC for a long time.
And they both don't play it safe.
No, and they fought everybody. Like if you look at who's on both guys' resumes, it's not a fight that you can just be like, oh, this is going to be interesting. No, it's going to be electric, I think.
And Jeremy, you're a different fighter, obviously, than Max Holloway. But did you take anything away from those fights? Because he gave Jose, although hell, one of the few guys to be able to do that.
Like I say, man, Connor took his head. Max took his heart. Max broke him. He made him fold twice. He knocked him down. He thinks Max hits hard. Wait till he gets in there with me. I'm a different breed, man. I have an appetite. I have a hunger and a huge appetite for finishing people. And the way I finish is you're laying still, and they got to take an extra longer break on the Fox Sports. So come Saturday night, it's gonna be no different. I'm going after it. This is a great spot for me to solidify my spot here in the featherweight division, and let alone just as one of the baddest men in the business in the UFC for a long time.
Now, Jeremy, I found something very interesting. I was reading over my notes here, and there's something from his coach, Jose Aldo's longtime coach, Andre Pederneiras.
Yep.
Could you read that for me, Chris, the producer, and actually read it for the audience and for Jeremy Stephens?
Yeah, absolutely. So Andre Pederneiras had this to say about Jose's training. He said, I think in the Holloway fights, Aldo just trained too much boxing. He was so focused on the boxing that he forgot about some of his best strikes. Now he's back to doing Muay Thai and training more kicks. So yes, I think you'll see a lot more kicks in this fight, meaning against you.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused now. Like, do you think? How come he didn't do that between the first and second fight with Holloway?
Yeah, there was only a 6-month window. You have plenty of time to make that adjustment. So I wonder why that's the case.
What do you think about that statement, Jeremy? It's not really a shit talking thing. It's kind of odd for me. I think it's kind of odd. But what do you think?
Hey man, I got leg kicks too, bro. I've knocked people down with my leg kicks. We expect I expect Jose Aldo to show up the best ever. I expect him to be at his best, and that's exactly what I want. I want the fans to see me at my best and go out there and give 110%. And if you want to trade kick for kick, power for power, you're going to be sleeping. I can guarantee you that. And that's a nightmare move to try to do that with me. Aldo's, he's been around, he's seen it all, but he's never been in there with a guy with an appetite, a hunger to finish you and put you out. And I can, of course he's going to throw leg kicks. We expect that. Do I specifically train for that? It's like, wait, you don't think I've ever been kicked in my leg before? Good luck. I'm going to snap your head back. I'm going to check it. I'm going to evade. Yes. There's ways around that, and you know what? I'll let him kick my leg for 14 minutes, and all I need is 1 minute just so I can let you feel the pain that I'm feeling. All the struggle, all the ups and downs of my career is going to lead to this moment, and I'm going to be victorious come Saturday night.
Everything seems now. See, different fighters. Some of it comes earlier. Others use their experience, and then next thing you know, they're like the best version of themselves. Right now, it's like the best version of you, and you've had great fights in the past, but what's been clicking for you lately? Why? I'm not going to say a change, but everything from the confidence to the performance, everything from the way you walk into the cage. What's making everything go so right for you lately, Jeremy?
Really, the truth about that is just there's always a time where I was 70%, with Alliance and 30% out, where I was around other coaches that I was getting drawn to, and that was my fault. I was allowing myself to go with these other coaches and kind of get sidetracked of the game plan. Me and Eric has always seen eye to eye. After my fight with Moicano, I went back to him. I hashed everything out. I got fully on board, and I just allowed myself to let go. Allow Eric just to guide me, push me, and just have the only one head coach who's really pushing me. And when me and Eric are together, I mean, you look at it; these are lightning bolt performances that I'm doing. And that's just me allowing one head coach, who I feel like is one of the best head coaches in the game. He's like I tell people, when we play Mortal Kombat, his favorite player is Jeremy Stephens, and he knows my strengths, he knows my weaknesses, and he knows how to guide me in for the win. And I've been allowing this to happen, and it's literally like after my fights, like I go and thank him because I'm like, dude, you guided me. Like when I go into those second rounds, he literally told me everything that I needed to do to go win the fight, and within that second round, I already had the guy figured it out and plastered him on the canvas. And I'm just like, Eric, like I cannot believe this, dude. Like, and that's truly what it is, and it's just getting better.
Isn't it funny? And you've been in the game a while, and this is something I really can relate to, is how people come out of the woodwork when you start doing well and knocking somebody out. And then, like you said, you're saying like you were at 70% with Alliance and 30% kind of, maybe either listening to somebody else or going somewhere else. Because the grass is always greener sometimes. You're like, oh man, this guy's coming at me with this idea and that idea. Maybe I should try this and put a snorkel on and run up a hill. And you know what I mean? Instead of listening to the people that either got you there or who really truly care about you and that you trust. Like, people do come out of the woodwork. I remember when I got the title shot, I had and Ray's always been my striking trainer, and I remember some guys I knew, this one guy in particular, like, listen, you work with me, I have this thing called broken rhythm, and if you work with me for this, now imagine I would have worked with this asshole, and then I end up doing what I did, and this guy takes the credit instead of Longo. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking crazy, man. The chemistry,
you're right.
Right, Jeremy? Like, the chemistry, like, in the corner and with your coaches is as important as anything with the training. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also feel, you can tell me what you think, Jeremy, but I also feel like there's kind of a compound interest because you've been in the game. So, you've got 42. There's not many people who have that kind of level of experience and time in the game. And I feel like it does a couple of things for people. That either breaks people, like in the sense of like they lose their motivation after being there for so long. And it's very hard to keep that kind of high-level competitive mindset. Or in what definitely appears to be your case, it strengthens your resolve. And if you ever have any losses, it can actually make you stronger, better. And then you come back each time just that little bit better till you find yourself standing in front of somebody like Aldo. And then you have the mindset and clearly the confidence that you have, which is to be, listen, I want the very best version of Aldo. And why not, right? He's only been beaten by 2 people in 10 years.
That is true. Holy shit.
And so it's like people can sleep on that. And then when he did get beat pretty catastrophically by McGregor, he come back and outperformed Frankie Edgar, who's no joke.
Of course.
And so you're fighting that guy with that kind of confidence, and you do need that kind of confidence. So I feel like it could be that sense of compound interest where like you've had all this experience, and instead of it undoing some kind of mentality, it's actually reinforced that confidence that you have in there, and therefore you are having these kind of performances. I think it's a mixture of what you've said, like your coaches, but then also just because you have so much positive experience behind you.
I fucking agree with that.
You said it. You said it best right there. There's been, I've failed so many times. It's like Michael Jordan. Like he's failed and missed more shots than he made. Babe Ruth, struck out more times than he hit home runs. And people only remember, kind of like Matt was saying, like everybody wants to remember just the good times and be there. I've had to deal with so much pain, adversity, suffering, and really kind of question myself. But I picked myself up during that pain, and on the other side of that pain was everything that I ever wanted. I hashed a lot of things out. I got my mind right. I got cleared mentally. And then I just went to work. I started, every performance, win or lose, Jeremy Stephens, like, man, what is he going to do next? Like, how is he going to come back? And I come back and I keep getting better and better and better. And, Saturday night, it's going to be no difference. I feel like I've still yet to give my best performance. or, one sick hell of a fight inside the octagon, just because really no one can really match me when it starts really biting down. Aldo's a great opponent to bring out the best in me, and I expect nothing less, and I'm going to go out there and give 110%.